This is DC Channel Guns. Like and subscribe. Thank you for watching.
What up? This is DC Channel Guns coming to the gun video. Appreciate you watching, like, share, and subscribe. And I want to appreciate all my subscribers. I want to appreciate all the good information. I appreciate y'all for coming to the video. Appreciate all the support, the comment. Appreciate the love. Appreciate everything that y'all do over here for DC Channel Guns. Without y'all, this channel is nothing. So I appreciate that. And if you subscribe, even if you're not subscribed or you just come by to see what's going on, I appreciate you. I thank you for, taking the time out to come over here and everything. And so the goal over here is to uphold the Constitution and defend the Second Amendment. And, with that said, people, we still have a huge fight ahead of us. The gun grabbers are agenda driven. They're going to take any type of situation in this country that they can pretty much use to pursue their agenda. And that's what they're doing. We've been seeing that for a while now. And you would think by now, when gun shops and stuff like that was deemed essential business, you would think that, hey, that would put a stop to all that. Even after the president and everybody, doesn't declare gun shops essential business, you still have judges, mayors, sheriffs, politicians. They're still agenda driven. They still don't know the answer to gun crime, gun violence. But they pursue the same. They're going down the same road. For example, you have Mayor of Mississippi. He suspended open carry gun owners to pretty much, I guess that's supposed to stop the gun violence and gun crime in the city, which that's not going to work. I'm talking about, because if you have a law-abiding citizen, the key word is law-abiding citizen, people. The law-abiding citizen, if he's open carrying, he's following the law, why is the law-abiding citizen going to be out there committing crime, open carrying a gun? It doesn't make sense. So, that just shows how agenda-driven and how, they're just disconnected to what's actually going on in their city. And they're supposed to be solving things. They're not solving stuff. They're pretty much creating these situations because you're having the citizens who can't defend themselves. If you're stopping the citizens from defending themselves, what about the criminals? What have you done to stop the criminals? When in this situation with the coronavirus, COVID-19, whatever you want to call it, you're having prisons who are letting inmates out because they're dying in jail and stuff like that because of this virus and everything. And they're putting even more dangerous people on the streets. Not all of them, but that's what they're doing all across this country. So you don't know who's on the streets, who got through this little loophole that they're providing to let inmates and stuff out. So you don't know. So you got to protect yourself, people. Now, with that said, we're going to talk about Canada. You have Canada now talking about banning over 150 rifles or, different guns and putting even more stringent gun laws in place. First of all, if the set of gun laws that you had before didn't work, what do you think, these sets are going to work? Because that seems to be the message when it comes to the gun grabbers. More laws, more gun laws, more stringent gun laws. Up to my, fringe on the more on the law-abiding citizen. That's what we have going on. And I'm talking about for decades, people. We have so many laws on the book. I did a video one time. We have over thousands and thousands of gun laws, people. And guess what? Gun crime still happening by who? The criminals. I'm talking about the law-abiding citizen is to the point where we're walking on eggshells to keep your gun rights in this country. That's why it's so important that you fight. Because I'm talking about walking on eggshells, you got to be very delicate. I'm talking about you sneeze on this side or you trip and fall on this side and you lose your gun rights, people. When you look at the prison system, imagine how many law-abiding citizens who lost their gun rights that's in prison right now. A lot of people don't take that in effect. I'm talking about because all these people who was sent to prison was law-abiding citizens. They had their gun rights, but because they've been, they got felonies and all this kind of stuff. In some places, misdemeanors are counting against you and infringe on you from, your gun rights and everything. Hey, guess what? Their gun rights is gone. So, like I said before, on this side here, you have a lot of law-abiding citizens that are losing their gun rights. And it's getting smaller and smaller over here, people. So you got to look at the strategy of the gun grabbers. I'm talking about because they keep creating this net to widen out the law-abiding citizen from having their gun rights. And that's why they keep putting all these laws in place, because they are trying to shrink the law-abiding citizens for protecting themselves. Think about this, people. They're shrinking the law-abiding citizen, expanding the people who can't, who is losing their gun rights. That's pretty much what they're doing. And over here, the law-abiding citizens have even more eggshells that we have to walk on. So that is the strategy that I see going on. That's why I say we have to have more people coming in on, coming in to defend the Second Amendment, more law-abiding citizens protecting themselves, buying firearms. We have to keep that going because the gun grabbers have a strategy. They're trying to expand people from, being able to have their Second Amendment rights in this country. So you see this playing out, and that is the focus, people. And, with Canada, I'm talking about, with the laws they put in place, they put a lot of people's lives at stake. A lot of people lost their lives because of the laws that Canada has put forth on the law-abiding citizen. And I hope that they can see clearly saying that they're not stopping crime. They're not going to stop gun violence. They're pretty much going to stop the law-abiding citizen from protecting themselves even more. And when you don't have the equipment for the law-abiding citizen to pretty much to go against the criminals who are committing all these crimes and stuff, you put them at a disadvantage. So a lot of people don't see that. So that's what's going on with that situation. Now, let's get back here in the country, in the United States, when we have California. Now, California has been tugging gun owners all across. Gun owners in California has been pretty much in some type of juggling act. I'm talking about the gun shops have ever since this coronavirus. I'm talking about you have protests now that you have people who want to get business back. They want to get back to normal and everything. The problem is, people, you have the government, you have everybody going back and forth tussling about the second wave. You have other countries who didn't take certain steps and they're paying for it right now. Sweden, a couple more countries is paying for it. Death toll has just skyrocketed and stuff. When you looked at a month ago, everything was fine over there and stuff. But because, like I said, a lot of people ain't been tested. Some people going around have it. You don't know it. And, you have places who want people to go back in movies and stuff. I'm talking about, if they're putting, if money is coming before your life, people, that's on you. I'm talking about that is on you. If you're going to put money and stuff like that before your life, that is your call. But I'm talking about, even if they're saying, hey, these businesses open and stuff, you need to take precautions, save your own life. Whether you believe this thing or believe the numbers or whatever the case would be, people are dying. Just put it like that. And so it's up to you if you want to play with your life or not. But when you have situations where you have prisons are letting inmates out in California, you see what California, the sheriffs, the judge, everybody just keep throwing the gun owners back and forth, the gunshots back and forth from the sheriff, back to the sheriff, back to the judge, back to the politician. I'm talking about it's confusing. You got some place in California selling guns. You got another place deemed they're not, selling guns. So it's just crazy what's going on in Southern California and stuff right now. And, like I said before, at the end of the day, I'm talking about you have gun shops in California and the gun owners who are dealing with so much. A week ago, they stopped the background checks to, buy ammunition, stuff like that. That was infringing on law-abiding citizens. Because the judge, deemed it, said that, this was only affecting law-abiding citizens, which was correct. And then you go back and then you have the district court and all them. Then they said, no, we're going to start back up the background check, infringe more on the law-abiding citizen. I'm talking about, this is what's going on in California. So you still have a lot of first-time buyers. I'm still seeing it. They're still out there. I'm talking about, you have so many people who's on the fence who are coming, they came in droves and then they dripping and dripping. They still coming, people. They're still out there. You have, back orders and them. You have gun manufacturers right now who are pretty much also doing other things and stuff during this difficult time that we're in. They're pretty much starting to manufacture PPEs, which is personal protective equipment and stuff. Try to help out on some of the shortage and stuff that's going on. So you got that. And I'm talking about, as far as me looking around gun shops and stuff like that, a lot of the shops, farms and stuff have it came in because of back order, whether the manufacturer is dealing with trying to stay safe, to keep the workers safe and stuff, taking in precautions and stuff. So things is slow. So a lot of stuff is not going to get back online. You might see ammunition here and there or farms and stuff, but it's still a little shortage out there. Not really a shortage, but it's just a demand, supply and demand issue that we have going on. So that's still going on, people. But, in the midst of that, like I said before, you have to be prepared, people. I'm talking about at the end of the day, you have to be prepared for this stuff. And so, like I said before, I hope everybody's staying safe and everything. But, don't let these cities and towns, the judge and mayors and sheriffs put your life at risk whether it's coronavirus or at risk for being, you know, a victim from home invasion and stuff like that. Don't let them put you in that situation. That is your call, not their call. I'm talking about you have too many businesses and stuff. You know, when it comes to these businesses and everything, they want to, I understand that people are struggling, businesses are suffering and everything. They're taking precautions and everything. You have barbershops still closed. I see a lot of people who need haircuts and stuff like that. I'm talking about, you know, it's just so much need for these businesses to come back. But the problem is, I'm talking about, you know, this second wave that they're talking about. Look at other countries who didn't take precautions. Look at them suffering now. I'm talking about, you know, the things that some of these cities and states could be doing is extending this thing all out throughout the year. I'm talking about, you know, short-term pain and, you know, get this over with, that, you know, so we can, you know, pretty much move on down the road. You know, you got to have this long-term view. Too many people got this short-term view. Short-term is very difficult for a lot of people. You know, just, I said, it's been saying this a long time in the 2A community and everything, that if you buy your stuff like you're supposed to when everything is good, I'm talking about whether you need it or not, it's best to have it and not need it. In the situation we're in right now, that, you know, take some of the, you know, this pain now. Everybody, you know, take precautions and everything. Get this thing down, get the numbers down, you know, get the tests and stuff out. And then, you know, we can eventually see some numbers. But when you have people who disregard what's going on, they're putting themselves at risk, their family at risk, the communities at risk, pretty much the whole country at risk. So that's what we're pretty much dealing with. So there's a lot of news and stuff out there. And also, when it comes to, you know, when it comes to your gun rights in this country, people, I'm talking about, you know, those who, you know, has to make the ultimate decision to pretty much set the standards in this country, fail to do that. And we've seen that situation, you know, many times before. So don't get your hopes up when you see a lot of headlines moving and everything, because like I said before, they're just headlines. But the key thing in this country, what we have to do, the citizens, we're going to have to keep the fight up. That is the only thing that we can depend on. We can't depend on politicians. We can't depend on courts, you know, justice system. You can't depend on none of that stuff. We have to do that. So, like I said before, we have to keep up the fight, and that is the goal over here, to uphold the Constitution and defend the Second Amendment. So, this is DC Channel Guns, and I catch you on the next one.
With the story.
What we're trying to discourage is panic gun buying.
LA County Sheriff Alex Villanueva, for a second time, ordering the stoppage of gun and ammo sales across LA County.
We're going to expect to see an increase in domestic violence with tragic results. We can expect to see an uptick in suicides and also accidental shootings. And we're trying to prevent this.
When the COVID-19 crisis hit, the lines at gun stores across Southern California exploded. Today, that was still the case at Guns Direct in Burbank, where some buyers say they want to buy while they still can.
This is my first time.
So why do you want to have it now?
Well, because I'm a parent and I know how chaotic people are. I mean, already people are going chaotic with the toilet paper. So imagine, like, if they lock down everybody, you got to stay home.
This gun shop initially shut down when the stay-at-home order went into effect.
2-3 days later, we get a call from Burbank PD saying we can open. Now we're essential business.
The sheriff says he spoke with the chiefs of every one of the 45 cities in the county and left it up to them as to what to do with the gun stores. LAPD opted to shut them down. As of today, Burbank remains open. We swung by this shop in Pasadena. They chose to close on their own, only staffing for those coming to pick up orders already purchased.
You know, you're hearing stuff from the sheriff that they're releasing inmates. So, you know, something happens, I need to be able to defend my family. I have kids, I have a wife.
The sheriff did release some 1,700 nonviolent offenders to help stop a potential spread in the county jail system. As it stands tonight, though, all gun shops in unincorporated LA County and the 42 contracted cities the sheriff department serves cannot sell guns or ammunition to anyone, with the exception of law enforcement, security guard companies, and anyone who needs to take possession of a previously purchased firearm. We checked with both Riverside and San Bernardino counties. They have not banned their gun sales.
This is DC Channel Guns. Like and subscribe. Thank you for watching.